Somebody you trust is going to disappoint you. Not because they're evil, because that's just how the game works. Someone less capable than you is going to get the promotion. Someone kinder than you is going to get used and thrown away. And nobody warned you, because the people who actually understand this don't teach it, they keep it. 500 years ago, one man wrote it all down anyway, and it got him exiled. His name was Machiavelli, and what he figured out about power, fear, and human nature is still the sharpest psychology most people will never learn. 8 lessons. Ruthless, uncomfortable, true. By the end of this video, you won't just understand powerful people, you'll understand exactly how to stop being used by them. One thing first, comment the word fox right now if you're ready. You'll understand why in a minute. Before we start, one disclaimer. This is not a manual for manipulating people who trust you. It's armor. Once you can see these 8 patterns, no one can quietly use them on you again. Most people spend their whole life playing checkers while the people around them are playing chess. Today, that changes. Quick context. Machiavelli wasn't a villain sitting in a castle. He was a Florentine diplomat who watched the naive, honorable leaders around him get destroyed, exiled, or killed, while the ruthless ones survived and ruled for decades. He didn't invent cruelty. He just refused to lie about how power actually works. And the 8 lessons in this video, they're not just for kings anymore. Lesson 1. Calculated opacity. Machiavelli put it simply. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Almost no one experiences what you really are. Here's what that actually means. The moment you explain yourself completely, you hand someone your power. Someone asks about your weekend. You say, nothing much, just staying in. Forgettable, predictable, powerless. Now try this instead. I've got something I'm handling. Then change the subject. Same person, same weekend. Completely different effect. One answer made you invisible. The other made you interesting. This isn't about lying to people. It's about understanding that information is currency. And most people are broke because they hand it out to everyone who asks. Think about the most intriguing person you know. They never tell you everything. They leave a gap. And your brain cannot stand a gap. It fills it in. It obsesses over it. It respects it. Stop narrating your entire life to people who haven't earned the full story. But opacity alone won't protect you, because the second someone thinks they've finally figured you out completely, that's exactly when they use it against you, which is why Lesson 2 matters even more. Lesson 2. Adaptive persona. You are not the same person in every room, and that's not fake, that's fluent. You already talk differently to your boss than you do to your best friend. Adaptive persona just means doing that on purpose. Machiavelli told princes to appear merciful, faithful, and honest, whatever the moment called for, without ever actually becoming soft. Picture water. It takes the exact shape of whatever holds it. A cup, a river, a storm. But it is always, still, water. That is the standard here. Adjust the shape. Never dilute what's inside. Here's the trap most people fall into. They think this means bending for everyone, agreeing with everyone, becoming whoever the room wants. That's not adaptive. That's disappearing. The trained version reads the room instead. Analytical people get logic. Emotional people get empathy. Big picture people get vision. And your actual values never move, no matter who's in front of you. A diamond has 100 facets. It is still one stone. Here's the danger nobody mentions. The more versions of yourself you can become, the easier it is to lose track of which one is actually real, which is exactly what Lesson 3 protects you from. Lesson 3. Strategic detachment. Machiavelli's most infamous line, "If you cannot be both loved and feared, it is far safer to be feared." Here's the modern version of that. The moment someone knows exactly what you're afraid to lose, they own you. Picture 2. People walking into the same negotiation. One of them needs this deal to survive. The other would like it, but has other options, and is genuinely fine walking away. Who do you think wins? almost every time. It's not the smarter one. It's the one who isn't desperate. Detachment does not mean you stop caring about anything. It means you stop being controlled by the fear of losing what you care about. Think about the calmest, most unshakable person you know. They're not that way because everything always goes right for them. They're that way because they already know they'll survive if it doesn't. Start small. Stop needing to win every argument. Stop needing everyone to like you. Watch how fast people start treating you differently. Once you stop needing people's approval, something else becomes possible. You stop having to say anything at all to be powerful. That's Rule 4. Lesson 4. Silent leverage. Amateurs think power is loud. They think it raises its voice, makes demands, forces a room to listen. That's not power. That's just noise. Real leverage is quiet. It's the pause before you answer a hard question, while everyone else rushes to fill silence with information they never needed to give away. It's having options you never once mention out loud. The other side can feel it anyway. It's becoming the person everyone quietly depends on, without ever announcing that you're the one holding things together. You are not looking for a reaction today. You are planting something that pays off in 6 months, in a year, long after everyone else already gave up and moved on. Patience isn't the absence of power. It is power running on a longer timeline than everyone else is willing to wait for. If you're actually taking notes right now, hit subscribe, because Lesson 5 is the one almost everyone gets completely wrong. Lesson 5. Psychological echo. Every single person you meet is silently asking you 3 questions. Do you see me? Do you understand me? Do you value me? Most people are too busy thinking about what they want to say next to ever actually answer those questions. Someone tells you, "I hate my job." The average response jumps straight to advice. Go find a new one. But listen underneath the words. What you're actually hearing is, "I don't feel valued here." Reflect that back instead. It sounds like your work isn't being recognized. Watch what that does. You just made a person feel completely seen in about 8 seconds. That is instant trust. Used selfishly, this becomes a con, a way to fake caring so you can extract something. Used honestly, it's the fastest way to build real influence that exists, because you're not performing understanding. You're doing the rare thing of actually listening. Now here's the one that gets Machiavelli, and this entire list, the most criticism. Because it breaks a rule good people are always taught to follow. Lesson 6. Ambiguous morality. You are not required to be the nicest option in the room. You are required to get the right outcome. Sometimes the kind thing to say and the kind thing to do are 2 completely different things. Telling a friend the hard truth about a toxic relationship feels cruel in the moment. It saves them years. Keeping a dishonest employee around because firing them feels harsh doesn't protect kindness. It just punishes everyone who's actually doing the job right. This is not permission to be selfish. It is the opposite. It's taking full responsibility for the outcome, instead of hiding behind good intentions and calling it virtue. Set your own lines first. Decide, in advance, what you will never do, no matter what outcome is on the table. Then, inside those lines, stop asking, "What makes me look good?" and start asking, "What actually works?" That kind of clarity is dangerous if the wrong people see it coming, which is exactly why Lesson 7 exists. Lesson 7. Controlled exposure. We live in a world where everyone overshares by default, which means the one person who doesn't instantly stands out. Every detail you give away is a detail that can never be taken back. The second someone knows it, they know it forever. So the rule is simple. Reveal on your timeline, not theirs. Show your best skills gradually, not all in week 1. Share your story slowly, as trust is actually earned, not to the first person who happens to ask. This isn't about secrecy for its own sake. It's about protecting your ability to control your own narrative in a world that never stops trying to write it for you. And all of it, the mystery, the range, the patience, the quiet influence, means absolutely nothing if you can't finish. Which brings us to the final rule, Lesson 8. Outcome obsession. Most people would rather be right than be effective. They'd rather win the argument than win the relationship. They'd rather look busy than actually finish something. Outcome. Obsessed people ask a completely different question. Not, how do I prove my point? But, what result am I actually trying to create? That single shift changes everything. Sometimes it means letting someone else feel right, because the relationship matters more than the point ever did. The method is allowed to change. The goal is not. If a plan stops working, outcome, obsessed people don't defend the plan. They replace it, immediately, without ego. That is the entire difference between people who talk about results and people who quietly, consistently produce them. 8 lessons. Pick one, just one. Practice it for the next 7 days and watch how differently people start treating you. But remember exactly what I told you at the start of this. This isn't a weapon to use on people who trust you. It's armor, so nobody quietly uses it on you again. Comment which one of these 8 you already recognized in someone in your life. Or better, which one you're starting with first. I read every single one. If this actually shifted how you think, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.